I'm a educator, multidisciplinary artist, and intergenerational community weaver. And I love to be in process with people of all ages, making art, telling stories, sitting in circle, having ceremony. I'm a mixed blood Anishinaabe, Finnish, Irish, English woman. My spirit name is, I'm part of the Loon clan, and my spirit name is Nanukasi, which is hummingbird woman. And I've been on a 7-year really intentional journey of getting to know myself and getting to know my art practice and getting to know my ancestors and the land and my connection to land and myself. And I do that through painting and filmmaking and storytelling and sitting in circle and listening to elders and listening to the drum and hanging out with people like Dalva and seeking out people and being seeked out. Like that's the Rumi saying is like what you're seeking is seeking you, and I think that's what's happened right here.
And I'm Dalva Lamminmäki, and I'm teaching Finno-Ugric Shamanism and Finno-Ugric Heritage, and that is how we did meet with Hazel. Hazel came to my workshop in the spring to learn more about Finnish heritage. And I'm in Canada because there is many Finns in here and Finno-Ugric people, and that's my job to tell about the heritage and maybe the pieces that they have lost, because I believe that many people just lose their roots when they are in different country, and maybe there is many generations that needs the information, and now we are creating something new, like we were actually brought together by the heritage that you are partly Finn and I'm teaching about the Finnish heritage, but now we can create something new together when we are doing the painting and the art, so there is no boundaries. And with Hazel we were talking that Hazel is saying that her first language is color, and I'm saying that my first language is drumming. So actually we don't need language, we don't need English, or we don't need Finnish language.
Just color and the drum. And I was so excited to find out that Dalva was coming to Canada, because I've been on this learning journey of my ancestry, and I went towards my Anishinaabe grandmother and great-grandmother, and I forgot about the rest of my ancestors. And then along the path I was told by elders and people from this territory, and they're like, yeah, you have that ancestry, but you also come from another land and you have other heritage, and it's really important to listen to those ancestors and to learn the culture of those ancestors. And so I started to get this need to go to Finland and to experience it, walking on that land and being in that territory. And then I got this email that Dalva was coming here, and I was like, woohoo! Finland is coming to me, and I will still go for sure. I'm going, but it's not as urgent feeling.
But I didn't actually know that you're a painter when we did first met in the spring. I didn't know that you make art, but the art is speaking to me lots of through the rock paintings, because in Finland there is lots of rock paintings, like in Canada too, and they are the first art actually. And I was thinking that I don't have anything to do with the art, and I'm just drumming, and I'm doing talks, I'm lecturing like about the Finno-Ugric culture, but art. And then I think I went to in Finland a place called Astuvan Salmi. There's a rock paintings where is there is elks and boats and like that, and I was looking them and really thinking that I would like to some way show to people my visions, and how can I'm not artistic. I think everybody can paint, but I haven't tried it, and so then I was thinking to find somebody that would go along with idea to me to drum and painter to paint. And at that point we were friends, and so internet is amazing place, so I did find out that you are painting.
Facebook
makes miracles happen, and that was immediately for me like that. When I go back to Canada, at that point I didn't know I'm coming here back this year. I was thinking maybe next year, but when I did know that I'm coming back, I did know that it's you that I want to work with and do the painting, because I think artistic people are very sensitive, and they go to the same place as when I go when I'm doing the drumming, and that was actually my vision and my question, that where is the artist going when she's or he's painting? Can we go to the same landscape? Can we go to the same place? And that was something I did want to find out. Mm.
Can you talk about what you did today?
Yeah, I would also like to say something. In that circle that I was in, Dalva's circle last May or April, the ancestors got mad at me in that circle because I didn't reveal who I was enough. Like when we were introducing ourselves in the circle, and I played it, I just said a really small thing about myself. I didn't say anything about myself really, actually. And the rest of the day, the ancestors or my spirit, like someone was like really annoyed with me, and they gave me this persistent feeling of like, you did it again. You sit in a circle and you're hiding out, and you're not supposed to be hiding out. You're supposed to say more things. Yeah. And I may have needed to say that I was an artist and I painted and stuff so that you could hear it at that time. Yeah. But we did find each other through Facebook.
and that's why we are here today doing the art and the painting. Yeah, here is the picture about what we did, and I didn't know about what I'm doing in this process. I'm basically doing just the drumming, and I'm asking spirits to come into this place and help us to create something and to show us different kind of visions. As I'm drumming, like later we did find out that we actually go to the same place, and the rhythm is something what painter is using when you are painting. We did talk lots about the rhythm, that when you're doing the picture, and like when I'm hitting the drum, there is the rhythm that makes visions, and it did make.
It took me to the forest, it took me to the feathers on a bird, it took me to like the void that's in the toroidal shape, and it took me, like, depending on if it was fast-paced or slow-paced, I would feel different rhythms, and it would call out different patterns. And this painting exists today because we had two drumming sessions with Dalva drumming and toning and singing, and myself painting. And this was our first time doing it together, and it is quite something. I didn't know I was going to wake up when I woke up this morning, I didn't know I was going to paint this picture, and it's really awesome to be able to express oneself without words comfortably, and to do it and to have it drawn out of me through someone else's ceremonial, devotional practice, and through the drum, which is, you find it in every culture around the world, and it would have been calling this out in people for millennia, for everywhere.
The beat of life.
Beat of life.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what we are actually wanting to give this experience to other people too. So we are doing in January this event that I hope that people attend to feel that's something that we did feel today, that we can create something together with the rhythm and with the paints, and you don't actually know what is coming, and you know when it's done, you just see it, because I don't look when you're painting, so I don't know, I just see my visions, and when I did open my eyes, actually Hazel did create something that I did see. So that was the point, that when I didn't know that we can go to the same place, and I would hope that some other people, everybody could have that same experience too. Even if you're not like a painter, just to be creative and listen, and then just let go.
Yeah, it's such powerful medicine, the medicine of the drum, and the medicine of self-expression, whether it's through paint or drawing or writing or dancing. And I feel that many of us are scared to do that. Many of us haven't been given the tools or given the space to do it, and it's really fun to do it collectively in community, and to create. I love creating a space that is ceremonial. We invite ancestors and spirit to join us, and we're the conduit for these messages that are for ourselves, that are medicine for ourselves, that are medicine for someone else who might be in that circle, who's like, oh my God, I had that dream yesterday and you just painted it, or you never know what's going to trigger what and what's going to inspire what, and I feel that we're psychic, and we live in this collective, interconnected world, and we have messages for each other.
Yeah.
And because immediately after we finished painting, or we finished the first drumming session and painting session, Dalva goes, oh, I saw lungs and you painted lungs. And I didn't think I painted lungs. I didn't see the lungs. But I'm just recovering from like a month of pneumonia and having my lungs filled with congestion, and people telling me that, oh, the lung represents grieving. And immediately I was like, I am not paying enough attention to my lungs. Here I am painting them, and I don't even know that I'm painting them.
Yeah. So we go to the same place, and we can have the same visions, and like drumming is healing, so is art is healing. I just know, because I work with people, so in the field of social work, so many times people use art for the different kind of healings, and so is the drumming music the same way. So it's just expressing them like together at the same time.
And someone may not feel comfortable painting, but they're going to feel comfortable maybe rattling or drumming, so they can participate that way. And and participate in the creation of the images and the healing of the colors and the healing of the colors together and the images that come forth.
Rhythm color therapy, like rhythm and color and
Rhythm
healing.
color therapy.
Yeah.
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 And I believe that when you do something that you've never done before, or you just go for it, and you're giving space in the world for other people to start trying things they've never tried, and it's like, hey, we're doing this. It's our first time. We're going for it, and we want to do it with more people.
Yeah.
Let's all go for it together.
So other people can have the experience that what they can create, and like you were saying, that you don't have to paint. You can just be with the drum or rattle, or just this is as good as anything to make rhythm.
Yeah.
And that is also doing the painting. When you are doing the rhythm, you are with the artist. I did feel I'm with Hazel doing the painting. I was part of that doing. Like I was also doing the painting.
Yeah, you definitely were. It
Yeah.
was because like I open up, I invite spirit, and then I just followed the drum really. And my mind would get in the way sometimes, and it's like, shush. Not right now. The judgment and the voices that you're like, excuse me. And so then I'd follow the drum, and it's like being in a canoe.
And this, because there is, when people are doing drummings, they are talking about the visions and what they see, and they talk about them and explain them with words. And I think it's greater way actually to put it on canvas and look them, and somebody else can see something so different in them and find something for themselves. So the painting don't need the explanation of the drum journey or the vision, because everybody can look it and do it like their own vision about it, what is going on in that picture.
Oh yeah, like a picture, what is the saying? A picture is 1,000 words. You showed me that drawing yesterday that was from the Bronze Age,
Yeah.
and it's like this. It's a caribou with wings. Then the feet are human feet standing on top of a lizard, and this is partly inspired. It showed up here. The wing is like wing, and the caribou and the body, and then the serpent. But when I saw that image, I was like, I've been drawing, like that makes sense to me. I'm like, that's part of my cosmology, and part of my understanding that's in my body comes from that place. Because I've been drawing that image, a similar image, for like about 3 years now.
Yeah, and if you really think about the rock paintings and all the old carvings and art, you know, for you say First Nations people do the totem bowls and different kind of things. So actually there is something really sacred coming from the ancestors, and it has been always like that. So why can't it be today like that? So in our time,
When we need it in our time,
Yeah.
we're living in a state of dis-ease, and I believe when I'm in ceremony and when I do my daily practices of art and yoga and what I need to do, and when I'm in communion with spirit, then I'm a healthier human. I'm a more balanced, aligned human. I can face what we're facing these days in the cities. And I don't think it's really that far below the surface. Like, we did these journeys. We do have a practice in our life, but we did it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think you can pull that out of just about anybody walking down the street.
You want to talk? Because I know you both lead things where you bring people through, whether it's creating something or journeying. Can you talk about how you make a space for that, and how people can be a part of that?
Yeah. For me, I've been, it started like about 7 years or 6 years ago, where I really needed to know the stories of my ancestors and the stories of the land, and I needed to spend time with elders. It became really urgent that I spend time with elders, so I started this project where I would hang out with elders and I would bring young people together, and we would sit in a circle and we would tell stories, and we would eat food and drink tea and tell stories and light a candle. And that started in 2008. The need for it started way earlier. I set out on the path in 2006, but since 2008 I've been learning about myself as a space holder, and it's part of my legacy that I get from my ancestors. I'm a blanket holder, I call myself. I hold blanket around people. I hold blanket around space, and it comes naturally. And but part of the pieces that I've been adding is like, well, food is number one. Flexibility, like depending on the community you work with, like allowing people to be late. And it's not, so I create space by smudging the area. Now I smudge the area. I didn't always smudge it, but smudging like really clears the space and allows for a sacred or spirit to come in, and allows for people to get comfortable, and they don't even know. And smudging people in the circle and lighting a fire and having an altar and inviting the directions in, inviting spirit helpers and animals in, inviting, giving thanks for the territory we're on, acknowledging the people of this territory. Right now we're on territory of the Mississauga, the New Credit, and giving thanks and having water and air and fire and earth represented, and even another amazing thing that I've been gifted in terms of making space is like not only having those things in the middle of the circle, but having them outside of the circle, so that they're holding the space for us. And just everybody welcome, more people the merrier, and allowing people to be where they're at in their spiritual journey, in the language they know, in their creative process, and meeting them there. Like, I feel like one of my gifts is being able to speak at the level that people are at. So I do a lot of work with youth, street involved youth, young men, and just meeting them where they are and giving them little pieces of the puzzle that they're looking for, that they might be looking for, or little doorways, like, hey, here's a doorway, hey, how about over here? And just being committed to that practice of making space and holding space, and knowing that that's part of my job on the planet. And when I do it, it's effortless for me. I can hold that space, and I love it. Like, I thrive on it if I'm doing it appropriately. And so we just made this show that's this sort of multimedia film and video and shadow puppets and ceremony and storytelling. And we created there was like 25 people who were really involved in the project, and it was ages 4 to 70. And we painted pictures together, we painted banners, and we made prayer flags. And I love it. And I love being able to share ceremony in a flexible, welcoming place and offer that to people, because not everybody's ready to be in a really serious ceremony where you're in ceremony for hours and hours and hours, and people aren't ready for that. But I like offering little spaces in the city for people to experience that. And I'm not sure if I fulfilled the question, but I talked a lot.
And it's nice to listen to you, because you are talking many the same things that I do. Of course, I'm teaching the Finno-Ugric heritage, like my heritage, because I cannot talk behalf of other people's traditions, and I don't want to even step into other people's tradition, because that is one thing. It's important to recognize that they are sacred. The heritage is sacred, and you have to respect that. So I'm just talking what I really know and what is in my blood. So, but we are working like same ways to collect the people and to talk and to do the ceremonies, and what I'm like thinking when I did listen to you is that today we are talking mostly like about individuality. Many times it's like all about individuality, and our family is getting smaller. We have our like core family. It's like basically I'm just saying like mother and a father and the children and maybe some relatives, and that's the family today. But if we just go a little bit back on time, the family was much more bigger. Okay, and that's what I want to bring back, like the way of looking what is family. And my family is of course it's my sisters and brothers and mother, father, relatives, my partner, my children, but also it's my friends and and then we are going, even if we go more back, it's the ancestors. So the family was actually the included living people and dead people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So your family is, if you really start to think, I would like to bring back of some of that thinking that the family is big. You are my part of my family, because you're my sister, like in humanity and living here, and also by blood, because you're Finn, partly Finn. You are my sister in that way, and we are creating something together. We are sisters like that too. So actually, I'm not saying I'm making friends. I'm having more relatives. And even if when I respect your ancestors, they become part of my family in some way. So it was much larger in old times when we were talking about the family. That is something I want to bring back to people, to think more out of
the nuclear family.
Yeah, because it's something like we hold it together like that, and we protect it, and you are not part of my family, but just open a little bit, and because that would be more love and caring in that thinking,
and more support.
Yeah.
We can see that it doesn't work. There's just so many unhappy families, people, and
yeah, you are working with the children. Yeah. You're taking care of your family like that.
Yeah.
If you extend the meaning of that word.
Family.
So that's why I'm Canada. I'm meeting my relatives. I'm working with my family. I'm not just like, I don't want to think I'm teaching here. I'm meeting people. I want to meet people talk with them and hear their story, because every story is important. All the memories are important.
There's a teaching that I was given by an elder of mine, Diane Longboat, and she is part of the Heart of the Mother, and has a sacred fire out on the Grand River. And they had a vision given to them at the sacred fire of the Great Thunder that's out there that burned they had it lit for 7 years for 24 hours a day. And one of the teachings was the original way the family was set up was children in the middle, women around them, elders around them, and the men around them, but facing out into the world. And right now we're living in a time where the adults are in the center,
Yes.
and the kids are like sent off to school, and the elders are put in old age homes. Because the people in the middle are the people who make money and who spend money. And so they're like the most important in the society that we're living in. But really, it's about allowing them to step out of the center, putting the kids back in there. Like, when I heard that teaching, I felt super committed to visioning that and imagining it in the new world. We're like the immune system. Paul Hawkins calls the movement, the grassroots movement around the planet, the immune system of the planet. We're all like doing our work to realign the planet in health and balance.
You just need to do your little piece.
Yeah.
If everybody does a little piece in this puzzle, it really makes a difference. You don't have to do much. You don't have to go out there, save the world,
No. Then that will make you sick.
From your lungs.
In your lungs. Yeah. Like, listen to that voice that's inside, right? The voice that gives you your direction. Like, this is your directive for this life. Go do it. There's a lot of noises that can distract you from that voice. And the painting allows me to listen. Doing shamanic journeys allows me to listen better. To know what to listen for, to know what to look for, to know what to pay attention to. Those repeated patterns, those friends that show up all the time. Like owl, we were discussing how owl, like on a greeting card, on someone's t-shirt, someone's earrings, someone's necklace, in a dream, in a song, in a movie, on a poster.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Seen in the dark.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. And the project that I've been working on, called Universe, the Awe and Reverence Tour, something that we talked about, well, we're talking about the universe and how it's like always expanding, and most of it is made up of, like 95% of the world universe is made up of dark energy and dark matter. We don't know what either of those things are. Like dark matter isn't made out of cells and molecules. It's made out of something that we call dark matter. And so that means the light that we see in the universe is 0.1% of the universe. So most of it is dark. So that means like the dark isn't scary, and like the visions well up and the knowing wells up through the dark.
Yeah.
It's just getting comfortable in the void. Because that's what the universe is, that's what we are. Close your eyes, you're in the void.